Hello everyone, welcome back to another Taekook one shot. I hope you will love it, and this is going to be a car romantic one shot. I hope you will like it. Okay. Thanks POV, dark clouds from above me, and I crush under my breath as I fasten my face. The bus stopped coming to my view, but I still have to cross the street and walk at least 100 meters. Today luck isn't on my side. It started raining and it takes only a few seconds for me to completely drenched. When I reach the bus station, I squeeze my hair to get the rainwater out. Annoyed, I take a seat on one of the dirty looking plastic chairs. I just hope my bus will come soon. This bus that stop in front of me is a wrong one. I could take it, but then I would have to walk for at least 15 minutes, though some dark. So I shake my head when the bus driver opens the door and the bus drives off. At least this bus station has a roof. The rain doesn't seem to stop, and I can hear the faint rumbling of thunder approaching. Every minute passes by and I freezing. My bus doesn't come. Every car that passes by make me regret that I agreed to drive to another city for my date, my disappointment date. I even dressed up for this guy and he didn't stop talking about his ex. My phone is almost out of battery, but I use it to check the bus app and curse out loud. The next bus as well as the next one after is cancelled. Stupid and this silly. A car stops in front of the bus stop. I look at my phone. It's still 11 p.m. and next bus will come in an hour and the next word will come in an hour and a half. My phone vibrated before shutting down. Great, stupid my life. I sigh, trying not to scream or cry. I feel overwhelmed and I'm mad at myself, mad at my date. The driver in the car seems to be having trouble as well. The rain makes it difficult to see, but the guy has a problem with the navigation. I watched him for about 2 minutes before because frankly I am bored and have nothing to do because of course I'm not only forgot to bring an umbrella and a power bank but also a book. The guy look up and meets my eyes which startled me and I look away. When I hear a quiet sound coming from the car, I look back. The passenger window is rolled down and the guy is leaning towards me. Damn, the world seems to stop, fade away. It's just me and him, Jungkook. I met him a few years ago at school. He was 4 years older than me and had already graduated, but he was volunteering to help younger students in maths and physics. At my school, I hated tottering, but at least I got to see him somehow. I managed to get his phone number and I usually ask him stuff about physics, but originally I asked him about him and he insisted. After texting for about a year, I decided to confess my feelings. He turned me down, of course he did. My 17-year-old heart was heartbroken, but I continued to chat with him, which didn't seem to bother him. After all, I had texted him almost every day for a year, so it was almost a routine for both of us. When I was 18, I hoped for something more, but he was still not interested. He only saw me as a friend, but he agreed to meet up for a drink to celebrate his job promotion. We had met up 2 more times to watch a film in cinema together, but he moved away and we went back to only texting. For 5 years we would texted and I knew I didn't have a chance, and if I wanted to get over him we should stop texting, but we never did until he replies become shorter and shorter. I knew he was busy with work, but it still hurt, so I decided to stop texting him. He never texted first. Do you need a ride? I snapped back into reality. Jungkook is smiling at me, waiting for a response. Embarrassed, I look at my feet before looking back to him. I must have stared at him for a few seconds, lost in my thoughts. My phone is dead. I can't feel my toes, and I just want to go home. So I nod and stand up. He opens the door from inside, and I get in the car. Silence. I stare at my hand in my lap, and my wet hair falls around my face like a curtain. When I look up, Jungkook is tapping his fingers on steering wheel, staring outside, lost in his thoughts. I clear my throat and regret it and next second because now his attention is back on me, smiling, waiting, his eyebrows, brown eyes shining, simmer in the dim light and the built in navigation system. How are you? I ask, biting my lips slightly. My mind seems to be clouded because I don't know what else I should say to him. I'm good. How are you? He asks back. Good. The silence is killing me, and I play with the phone in my hand. So, where are you heading? Jungkook asks, and I smile. At least that's something I can answer without overthinking what I should say to him. Home. Do you still know where I live? He nods. A soft ping drives his attention to the navigation. It's working again, he mumbles. Relieved, turns on the radio and started driving. The raindrops fell softly against the window and battle each other. I watched them race and smile when one I was petting was Vince. The weekend is playing on the radio, which I think fits the vibe for the late night drive. But the fact that I am sitting next to my former crush is driving me insane. I haven't seen him in over 6 years and we haven't been in contact for 2 years. Yet I feel nervous around him if my feelings for him never stopped. We entered the highway and I know it takes us about 45 minutes to back in my town. Are you visiting your family? I ask him. And he seems almost startled by my voice. He looks at me for a split second before switching lanes. Yes, it is my mother's birthday tomorrow, so I have decided to surprise her. I open my mouth, but he beats me to it. And what about you? What are you doing at this hour in another city? He asks, increasing the driving speed. The rain is now falling at extreme speed against the window, and the dark trees and other cars are flying by. I had a date, I said, tugging at my skirt. I can feel his eyes on me for a second. And he left you in the rain? He asked. I shake my head and sigh before I started talking. I'll tell him about the date, about my bad luck today, my bad luck with love. Soon I realized I am oversharing again. I used to vent to him every day and he would listen and try to help. For a second it feels as if we never lost contact. He sounds like a freak, Jungkook said, and I nod and tell him the rest. As I look at his side profile, he stared at the road ahead, looking concentrated, but at the same time I feel him focused on my words. He still looks so attractive. Silly, he suddenly mumbles and curses. I look back out of the window as Jungkook slows down. The rain grows heavier, making it difficult to see the road ahead, and the massive black clouds above us are illuminating by lightning. There is a rest stop at about 30 centimeters. I point at the navy and Jungkook nods. Jungkook come to a stop. We parked in an almost empty parking lot. And the weekend is still and the rain patters against the window, and for a moment we didn't say anything and just listen the music and the comforting sound of rain. I unbuckle my seatbelt and close my eyes, titling my head back against the headrest. I can feel Jungkook staring at me, but I don't open my eyes. You look different, he says, finally breaking the silence. I open my eyes, like sitting sideways, and look at him. My head is still leaning against the headrest. And you don't, I say. He looks at me with a faint smile on his lips. I stare at him for a second before I open my mouth. I close it again and play with the hem of my skirt. My clothes are still damp. I'm freezing. My eyes travel around in the car. Sorry, you. The heater seat are only working on the back seat at the moment, and I haven't got the time to go to the car repairing shop. If you want, you can sit in the back. Jungkook says, noticing that I am cold. The rain doesn't stop, seems to stop. It gets even worse. We are going to be here for a while, so I might as well keep myself warm. When I open the door, Jungkook looks at me with a confused look, but I just exit the and close the door before I rush to the back door. Once I sit inside, raindrops would run down my face. Jungkook looked at me with open mouth, only unable to say anything before he turns away and started laughing. He turns on the heated seat in the back, then he leaves the car, and in the next second he sits beside me. He clenches when I just stare at him. He sits too close to me. I feel unable to breathe, but at the same time I want to my head in his chest and the smile, his accent. I blush because what the heck am I thinking? To distract myself, I remind myself that I was mad and hurt when we lost contact, so I turned to him. It always bothered me and I have to get it off my chest now. Listen, Jungkook, no, first of all, thank you for helping me, and I can PayPal you money for your fuel. I started, but he shakes his head energetically. No, don't worry about anything. I just want to help you, and it's also on the way of my home. Jungkook says, smiling, nodding, and I turn away from him. I take a deep breath. Okay, here we go. I understand that you must have had a reason to stop texting me. Maybe you forget, or maybe you don't didn't care anymore, and that's fine. But I wish you would have said something. I was hurt when you broke off contact without a word. I could have texted you as well. I know, but I was done chasing after you. I thought that maybe you were annoyed with me, or I don't know what I was thinking. It's just that I was hurt. I end up my rant with heavy breathing, unable to look at him. There is a silence a few seconds before he speaks up. His voice was a soft thang. I am sorry. I look up and watch him as he runs his hand through his hair while searching for the word. I should have texted you. I should have said something, but I had a girlfriend at that time, and while she didn't have a problem with us texting, I knew I had to tell you, but I didn't know if you still had the crush on me after we broke up. And that too much time had passed, and I was a coward and didn't not know if I should text you or not. I didn't mean to hurt you. That's a lame excuse, I know, because I did hurt you with my action, and for that I am sorry. Silence. There was so many things going through my head, but I just nodded and he smiled. He hurt me, and now he apologizes. It is in the past. Let's forget about it. But thank you. I needed to hear that, I say, and at my smile, he smiled back, revealed. Now that I am sitting here with him, I am actually feeling better. Yes, it was sad about it, and it took me a while, but I finally got over him. When I had a crush on him, I was only focused on him. Once I got over him, I realized that just because he didn't want me didn't mean that every single guy didn't want me. Guys are interested in me, and I got into dating. Jungkook still looks hot, and yes, he still make me a bit nervous, but my feelings are gone really. He leans his head against the head. He leans his head against the headrest and stares at me. His eyes travel down my body. I follow his eyes and realize my white crop top is completely see-through. For a second, I feel embarrassed and want to cover up, but his eyes are filled with curiosity and I something more. We never going to be friends again, or maybe something that we were before. We might never see each other again. I frustrated, and I at the same time I am feeling bold. Some slowly I will move towards him, my eyes meeting his. He seems to be waiting for my next move. I straddled his lap. His hands are automatically on my waist. His eyes travel down my body, staring at me. I drag my hands slowly to the top bottom. His eyes follow my movement one by one. I button each buttons before I take off the crop top. Now I am sitting on his lap without a shirt. He stared at me again. I was wearing his favorite color that I remember. Do you want to make it off, or would you like to stare at me? I whisper and wonder where this sudden boldness is coming from. Jungkook blushes. He actually blushes because of me. His reaction gave me more confidence, and I dragged my hand up to his shoulder before I slowly track my fingers on his muscles until I reach his hand, which are still sitting on my waist. I take his hand and with mine and his right hand. Jungkook finally gets some control on himself. Can I kiss you, please? He asked, and me shuddering, and I blushed, not giving him permission to do. Next second, his lips crushed down on my lips like almost lovely soft manner kiss. You know what to do next, don't you? Have fun by yourself. He runs his other hand over my hair and the side of my face while kissing me again. Exhausted, he lays his head on my chest and closes his eyes. My fingers ran through his hair and over the shoulder and back. The steady sound of the rain calms my breathing. We stay like this for a few minutes. Time escape after driving for 45 minutes. When Jungkook pulls up in front of my house, it is already 2 a.m. I feel exhausted. All I want is a hot shower and my bed. Jungkook sat down and the engine and turns to look at me. His hair is messy and his skin is glowing from sweat. He looks so good. Do you still have crush on me? He asked, taking my hand and playing with it, all while locking eyes with me. I don't say anything for a moment and think about it. To be honest, I don't think I ever moved on from him. But but he is still holding my hand, and let's do this again if you accept to be my boyfriend, he says, leaning forward. If you are ready to give me a chance, why not? Love. Jungkook grins, grab my hand and pull me to him. He kisses me softly and slowly. I can't wait to have another night with you, my boyfriend. He whispers in my lips and I break away. I smile and wink at him before I collect my bag and phone and hop out of the car. Smiling, I walk towards my door as Jungkook drove off as I flashes the keys out of my bag. I'm glad that I got over him. So everyone, how was it? Don't forget to tell me in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one shot. Till then, take care, soon. And if you have any request or suggestion, please comment down. I'll try to work on it. And see you tomorrow. Bye.